And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as I always do every day. How are you doing on this amazing Monday? I'm hoping that the sound quality is better. And we've had some sound problems over the last couple of days, but here I am. Here I am. Maybe I need to, we'll see. We'll get this all squared away. We will get it squared away. There we go. Just kind of like playing with it. There we go. It's clear here. It is clear on this end. Hopefully, it's clear on your end. How are you doing, Hannah? I see you in the building. Hannah says, "Good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family." Thank you, Chris. Thank you. My buddy is in the building somewhere. Good morning, Elise. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Okay, what else am I supposed to be doing here? You know what? I forgot. My banner hasn't been up. That's what I haven't put up. And that's what there's a wait. My little tracker. There you go. Join us on YouTube. If you're over in Instagram, join us on YouTube. Okay, there you have it. There you have it. But the weather is hot in New York. It's a little sticky here today. And but it's supposed to drop. The humidity is supposed to drop. And next week, this week, 70s. You know how I feel about the 70s. 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 They make those numbers make me happy. Elise says, "Good morning, Ron. Good morning. Good morning, Kimmy Kim. Good morning." Yes. So make sure you guys are sharing this platform with other folks so that people can know that we exist. And we are here to have a great time. We're going to talk about some photography today, and we're going to also do our Motivation Monday. It is Motivation Monday. And Mr. S.J. Carradine says there is no plants because this is the last month of living here. This is it, y'all. Well, no, it's not the last month. I have September. I do have September, all of September, but the house gets packed up in a couple of weeks. Yes, indeed. That is why. Lee says, "Good morning, Hannah. I see. Let me put in here the Instagrammers. The Instagrammers are so important. You know how I feel about the Instagrammers. I know that some of my colleagues are like, Ron, why do you worry about the Instagrammers? I'm like, well, because the Instagrammers, they're just kind of like strolling by. And then sometimes they're just like window shopping. And sometimes they pop in. So that's how we have it. That's why we do it. That's why we include the Instagrammers. But I don't try to do it like, I used to be like, I got to do it right away. I got to do it right away. No, now I just include it. I just include it while I'm working, while I'm here. So we had a great weekend. I should say I had a great weekend. But I want you to think about, what was your weekend like? What was your weekend like? And share. Because we had here in New York City great weather. I know the West Coast, or you guys on the West Coast, you guys are having some hot weather over there, and it's record heat, and you guys got fires again in California. So all my California folks, I know we see you, we feel you. Elise says Instagram is where this all started. Thank you, Elise. Right? We can't forget where we started. Thank you, Elise. We cannot forget where we started. And I started on Instagram. That's how it all began. It began with just a couple of us hanging out saying, look, let's just touch base with each other and let one another know that we are alive. That was the whole purpose of Touch Base Daily. Do you know that? The very beginning of this whole process of me popping in here, and now it's grown, and now people come on, we have interviews and all that other stuff. It started out among 5 or 6 people, just coming together and saying, hey, let's just make sure we're okay. That's how it all started. So that's the original. That was the foundation, and it still is. We are here to say we're okay. We are okay. So that's the whole purpose of Touch Base Daily and catching, obviously, if we're talking about just hanging around the water cooler or just chatting, we talk about things that are happening. So, but this weekend was really nice. We did our photographers meetup in the village this past Saturday. We met on 6th Avenue, and I do believe it's on 10th Street, and at the wonderful, amazing library there that is huge. It's a beautiful library it looks like a castle, and then it was brought to my attention that it used to be a women's prison back in the day. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then I remember I said, oh yes, I was on a walking tour and they did mention that it used to be a prison, a women's prison on 6th Avenue. Can you believe that? Now, why were they locking up women? Well, that's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother story. Women that were what they call unruly, or women that couldn't get along with their husbands, or husbands that want to put away their wives. Back in the 1800s, 1900s. Kimmy said, we have great conversations. Yes, we do. We do have great conversations here. But that is a conversation. Daisy is in the building. What's up, Daisy? Daisy, good morning to all. Oh, the wonderful Gwendolyn is in the building. She says, I was in another room waiting again. I know. I know. We're gonna get together. We're gonna get together. My bad on that one. I probably put the wrong date on one of my. I've been trying to be proactive, so my proactiveness seems not to be working. I just need to do it in the moment. Just one per day. I see Bryson's in the building, and Bryson says, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" And we go to his original. Bryson says, "I need a drink for anytime Bryson talks, anytime he shares, I need to drink." Bryson says, "What's up, Ron? What's up, RLP fam? Happy Money Making Monday. Welcome to the first day back to school in DC. I heard about that. I do believe also kids are going back to school in Philadelphia. Is that correct? In Philly is also the first day of school? Is it the first day of school in Philadelphia?" Janet is in the building. What's going on, Janet? I see you. I see you. Janet was out with us yesterday. Janet was out with us Saturday. And I tell you, when Janet is on the move with us, I am like, yes, my Janet is here. That means we're going to have a great meetup. And we did. We had some folks that came out that haven't been with us in a while. And again, we walked around the village, and the village is truly a village. What makes New York so unique is that it's hundreds of villages. And all of these villages are knitted together to make New York City. And Greenwich Village, one of the earliest villages, is the same as pretty much like all the rest. And but there's a cemetery. I took our team to the cemetery, a Spanish, Portuguese, Jewish cemetery right in the middle of Greenwich Village, right there. People walk by it every day and don't even know it exists. And I show them, the graveyard, the cemetery. Then we walked through the neighborhoods. Then we went through some of the old tracking grounds back when the days when the village was the village. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The village used to be the heart of everything. I mean, it was two places that you came to New York City to see. And you knew there was going to be a lot of action, and it was going to be alive. Like lights flashing, people gathering, photos to take, conversation, great restaurants, just chilling out, hanging out on the sidewalks, people drinking, people smoking, people prostituting. It was two places in New York City that you can get prostitutes. And that was Times Square and the Village back in the day. You also had a place in the Village. Well, it's really not the Village. It was like off the edge of the Village. It was called the Salt Mines. The Salt Mines is where a lot of street walkers used to hang out. Also, like Janet brings out right here. She says it was amazing. Bunches of young people lining up for pizza or sitting outside the Village cigar shop, which used to be a true cigar shop, but they kept the awning because they couldn't get rid of the awning. So I'm told, because the awning is a landmark on Christopher and 7th Avenue. And it is such that corner, when I used to go to the Village, for people like myself, who I am a people watcher, I am fascinated by human beings. I am that guy that sits at the coffee shop or the bagel shop here in New York. And if it's on, I always look for one that's on the corner. If you have a good bagel shop on the corner or a coffee shop, you get to see the intersection of the neighborhood. And you get to learn so much about the neighborhood. Sometimes I would just get on the train back when I used to ride the train. Now I just get on the bike. I used to ride to different parts of the city to just hang out and watch people. And now that I'm a photographer, I still do the same. But now I do it with purpose because I am a photographer. And so I have my camera and I'm just waiting for that moment. Once in a while, you get the moment. Once in a while, you'll get this particular moment. You're like, yes, I gotta photograph this. And it becomes classic. Daisy says, interesting, Ron. The corner. Always look for coffee shops if you're a photographer. If you're into people watching, if you want to get an analysis of a neighborhood, get a coffee shop near the corner or on the corner. Right? Or with big windows. Kimmy says, in Philly, people used to go to South Street near Center City and Old City to hang out and be seen. Hello, we have that in Soho. No, you cannot beat Soho. Soho. Any fashion people in the house? Soho to this day is where all of the fashionistas hang out. Like the people with money, the real fashionistas, not the Marshall fashionistas, not the Marshalls, not the TJ Maxx. The real fashionados and fashionistas, they all hang out on Prince Street in Soho, Spring Street, Soho, Broadway, between West Broadway and regular Broadway. And that's where all the people dress up. They come into New York City to just dress up and look their best. And they walk around just to be seen. They want to be photographed. And you'll find a lot of photographers they hang out in Soho because they know they can get photos of celebrities. And they love those photos of celebrities. But why? Because it helps their portfolio. And then some of them photographers, the brave ones, will walk up to a model, because lots of models hang out in Soho. And they will walk up and say, may I have your photo? May I take a picture of you? And they take great photos. And then they give them to the models. And then they give them to the actors. Lots of actors. When I'm hanging out in Soho, a couple of months ago, I ran into Chris Rock. He was just right there. I was having my lunch and there was Chris Rock. I had my camera. I'm sitting in with my photography buddy, Butch. And we're just hanging out. And there was Mr. Chris Rock right across from me. You don't know who you're going to meet in Soho on Prince Street, Spring Street, between West Broadway and Broadway. So next time you're in New York, make sure you do that. Also, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building. Hey, Jamel Shabazz is in the building. I see you, sir. I see you over in Instagram. And let me just put that in here. Join us. You know, I had to do it every day. I had to do a copy and paste. I keep forgetting to do it. Join us on YouTube. Okay. So guys, what did you do this weekend? No one's chiming in. What did you do? What did you do for you this weekend? Hello. This is a conversation. This is not just about Ron. I'm just waiting. I'm talking about myself because I want you to talk about yourself. I'm waiting for you to get on the board. Get on the board. What did you do this weekend? What did you do this weekend? So the other thing I did was I worked on my website, and it keeps getting better and better. Just when I think I'm done with it, it gets better. So I went in and I sent out my new website to several friends to take a look at it. And my friends are great critiquers. They have no problem in critiquing, and they have no problem saying, Ron, maybe you should work on this. Maybe you should have changed that. Maybe this is a little bit too big. Maybe this doesn't work over here. Ron, I have great friends. I surround myself with cool, great people. So I went into the website and changed some stuff. So do you want to see the new changes? Let me show you the new changes so that way you can see it. Now it looks really good. Are you building your own website? I built my own. Yes, I am. I've always worked on my own website. I am on Squarespace. Squarespace. If you need a spokesperson for your brand, I would love to be a brand ambassador. Especially if I can get it for free. If I can get it for free every year, that would be great. I will be stuck with you. I would love to be with Squarespace. I've been with Squarespace for years. And the reason why is because I love how easy it is for me to manage, because I am not a techie guru like Gwendolyn is. Gwendolyn is my tech guru. So when I get stuck, like in the old days, dial the phone, I'm calling Gwendolyn. So, but I went back. My brother, who's my older brother, who is a graphic designer, I sent it his way. He gave me some feedback. I sent it out to Chris. Chris gave me some great feedback. And then my other buddy, who he manages his company. Well, he's like a manager, and but his boss always goes to him for his eye on things. And I said, what do you think about this? So I got great feedback from so many people, from all my critiquers out there. I appreciate people. It takes a village to build something great. And so here is my new website. And I'm now going to be working on the store this week. But this is the new website. And I think you might like it. There she is. There's the baby. There she is. She's corrected. She now looks good. She's seamless. She has new colors. She's flashy. She's got photos. All my photos are there. Got the galleries. I mean, there she is. There's not Ray, Issa Rae, but yeah, it shows all my work. And this is my landing page. So it's like a slide presentation. Then it goes into which was not on the old platform, is Touch Base Daily. Our platform is now on my YouTube, on my webpage. Then how you can contact them, bookings. Then my different types of photography, event photography, headshots, and architecture, home interiors, newsletter. You know what I feel. You know how I feel about the newsletter, y'all, right? Y'all need to be on the newsletter. Click on the newsletter, because one day these apps may not be here. These online services may not be here. So, but we will still have emails, you know. There we go. And then now also my tutoring is on that page as well. So now photograph your world is right there. So people can just scroll through and see. And then it has all of the corporations I've worked with, or have been published with, which is, I didn't realize how many until I put them all out on paper. It's kind of interesting when you do that, right? And there's still more I have not added. So, but yeah, these are all the publications and people, companies, corporations, Fortune 500 companies that I've worked with. And so it's all on that beautiful landing page. And there you have it. So, and then obviously the rest of the website you can check out. But that's the landing page, and it has all of these different tabs about YouTube. It has YouTube there, so you can go straight to this channel. And corporate photography, the galleries, home photography, education right here. See the education tab now comes down where you got photography 101 and the photography tips. Now the photography tips are the tips that we do on Tip Tuesdays. And now they're on the website, my meetup group and the store. I don't know why they have this login. I keep figuring I don't know why it's here, but I'll figure that one out. So there you have it. This is the new website. This is the new website. So hang out, go there. Chris was in there this morning. He and I were going through it and critiquing some stuff together. And I am always thankful for my friends and all the people that support what I do. I cannot do this alone. I cannot do this alone. It is our friends. It is the people that are in our lives that make us better. There you have it. Okay, who else is in the building? Prison Cell Block 8. Remember that show? Oh, okay, Daisy. Kimmy says, you are a great storyteller. Thank you, Kimmy Kim. I cannot wait to get back to Philly. I cannot. Kimmy, we're due for a date in Philly. I told my buddy, I'm coming to Philly. As soon as the apartment's sold, I'm coming to Philly. Because I got several people to visit in Philly. Yeah, it is BC and Baltimore. So wait, Mr. Brian is in the building. Brian, how did you escape me? Brian Young, happy Monday, family. How did you get under my radar? I did not mean to miss you, sir. Kimmy says, Catholic school starts after Labor Day in Philly. Do you know, I just learned about something about Philadelphia, that there's a huge parade that happens every January 1st, and it was started by the Irish, and they have all these costumes. It's kind of like equivalent to our Labor Day here in New York City. I just learned that this Saturday from one of my colleagues, who's a photojournalist, and she's been in the business for like 30 years. And she said, oh, I go to Philadelphia all the time to photograph. I forgot what she calls it. The name escapes me. And she says they come out with their costumes. It started out with the Irish, but now it's expanded to other people and yada, yada, yada. I did not know that it's cold in Philadelphia on New Year's. And they have a huge New Year's parade like we do here at Labor Day. Did not know. The beauty of conversation. I see here, David Moscato is in the building. Moscato is here. He says, good morning, all. So good to see you, sir. So good to see you. Kimmy says, hippies, maybe? And Elise, you have not seen Elise. Elise has been putting out information on her platform regarding, let me just get this off the screen. Regarding Washington, D.C. There's a lot of folks in D.C. that are, oh, thank you, Chris. It's the Mummers Parade. It's the Mummers Parade. That's what it's called, the Mummers Parade. Kimmy, do you ever go to the Mummers Parade? The Mummers Parade. I was like, when she said, have you ever been to the Mummers Parade? I was like, what the hell is a mummer? I don't even know what a mummer is. I was like, what is it? Anyway, so yes, it's called the Mummers Parade. And it's usually New Year's Day in Philly. It's a big event. All the Philadelphians go to. Daisy says, next time I'm going to find a coffee shop in Soho. Daisy, if you're in New York, and I do this in many neighborhoods. For instance, when I go to Harlem, I like to go to 125th Street because it still it still reminds me of the old 125th Street. So in some places, but what's sadder though, there used to be a Starbucks on 125th. I do believe maybe it was Frederick Douglass. I think it was. Anyway, there used to be a Starbucks on the corner, and I would be right there. If the subway was right there, so people came out the subway, and I would hang out and right there at that Starbucks on the corner. It was so cool. So anytime you go to, if you're a photographer, I'm talking to my people that like people observers, and people that like to take pictures of people. Find a coffee shop on the corner, and if you can get it near a subway, not the eating subway, the subway station, like here in New York City, we have our MTA. You will see all kinds of people coming off the trains, the train lines, and interaction. It's hustle and bustle. Man, the best photos. The best photos, I will tell you. Visit my youngest son and his family. Okay, good. Lisa says, I went to the city yesterday, had a me day, including lunch, window shopping, coffee, street fair. It was a good day. Yes, the weather was beautiful this weekend here in New York. I see here, Hannah says, my daughter invited a friend over with her young children to enjoy our pool. Hannah, I'm coming to that pool. I'm coming to the pool. The children were 2 and 4. The youngest, Stephen, kept calling me grandma. He won my heart. Oh, grandma. Nice. Kimmy says she visited her youngest son and his family this weekend. Okay. You guys are doing stuff. Daisy says, Lord, I must be on the short yellow bus because I have struggled with Squarespace. Squarespace is really good. It is easy. And I see here, Janice says, wow, fabulous, so fabulous. Jazzy says, beautiful day, beautiful run. And Lisa, is your name supposed to be all together in the beginning with no space? What, Ron Lewis? Ron Lewis is my name. Ron, my birth name is Ronald Lewis Foster Jr. That's my government name. And then my name has evolved as like Ron. It's Ron Lewis. Yeah. Lewis comes from my grandfather's name. I use it because it reminds me of my grandfather. That is why you say Lewis. That's why I use Ron Lewis. Because it is a conjunction to contribute to my grandfather. And so I see Daisy say it looks great. And Kimmy says she loves the site. And Brian is incognito. Brian is never incognito. Bryson says, all right. Has been taken. Oh, yes. Yeah, I heard. Is that true? Guys, is this? I know that he was set free. And then I know that then they say they're going to deport him. Kilmer, Albergo Garcia has been taken again by ICE, says Bryson. And Janet also comes in there with Mummers Parade in Philadelphia. And he says, okay, we'll have fun when you come around. Mummers Parade, costumes, music, etc. The crowd is wild. It's cold. It's got to be a warm January. Janet says there was 2 Starbucks along 125th, right? Yes. And they were the one on the corner was the best one. And Lisa says, I know, but I thought it was your middle name. But if that's the way you want it, cool beans. Was just letting you know if it was an oversight. Nope. That how it's always been. My company is called Ron Lewis Photos. Ron Lewis Photos. That's been my name since I started photography. On all of my business cards. Cass says, went on a journey Saturday. Yes, you did. She said, and she's laughing because she knows that's an inside joke between she and I. She said, "Oh my OMG, exploration while we took pics along the way. Nice trial run. Welcome to New York, Tess. Welcome to New York City. I wish I could have met you." Janet says, "Went to Westbeth exhibition Sunday afternoon. Heard an amazing sermon ice sites and conditions in them." Ooh, ooh, okay. And Kimmy says, "No, it comes on TV, but never went. The parade is all day long. I have gone to our Thanksgiving Day parade. That is also televised, as well as our July 4th parade with well-known entertainers." Well, I've done the Macy's Day Parade here in New York City, and I had a special one. One of my friends, he works, my buddy who lives in Philadelphia, he works for Macy's, and he gave me tickets for some my friends and I to go to the Macy's Day Parade, and it is definitely worth seeing the Macy's Day Parade because it's long, but it's a lot of celebrities and people from out of states, out of the city, out of the country coming to visit. Okay, let's do some photography. Should we do some photography? Let's do, I think we already did. Let's see, what photography should we do today? Okay. I said we're going to start spending more time on my photography and sharing more photography with you guys. And then we're going to go dive into Motivation Monday. And then we're going to call in the day. We're going to call in the day. I have lots of work to do today. And so we'll make sure I get into that. Yes. Oh, no, he just got back. Okay, so here we go. Let's look at some photography. So this weekend, let's see, I'm gonna go there. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see what's the best ones to share with you today. I think I shared all of my Martha's Vineyard stuff with you guys. So this is our Motivation Monday. Okay. And yeah, so that was a good thing. But okay, let's go here. Let's go with the main images. And I started sharing some wildlife last night with oh, we had a great time last night in our game night. Yo, speaking of our game night last night, Chris R. Can I tell you, Chris R. Man, do you know she did not one, not two, but 3 pangrams? She did 3 pangrams in our spelling bee. She rocked and then brought us across the line last night. Woo! Chris R was on fire in our game nights. For those that don't know, we have game night every Sunday evening if I don't happen to fall asleep. But that was because I was so busy in the month of August. But we meet every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday evening at 11:30. That goes to show I don't have a social life after 11:30, right? So I'm hanging out with my friends here, and a bunch of us get together and we do the New York Times word puzzles. And our 3 that we do together is the Wordle. We start off with Wordle, and then we do connections, and then we do spelling bee. And spelling bee is when we all go in. I mean, everyone participates and gets into it. It is a lot of fun. So you have to join us on our game nights. Our game nights 11:30, and we bring in the next day together. Yeah, yeah. Chris R was rocking. She was rocking last night. And Elise says, I went to the Art of NARS gallery to relax, engage in great conversations. Nice. Elise, when you do these kind of things, do you ever we'll talk. We gotta talk after. But we may need to get you a DJI mic system so you can just kind of like put in your pocketbook or your bag or your backpack, so that way you can have those off the cuff interviews with some of you you're great artists, because that's your world. You live in that world. So great. As Gwendolyn's like always looking for the B-roll. That's what, the B-roll is important. Chris says, stop it, Ron. Thanks. I'm working my orange job while listening to you. Chris, you rocked last night. You rocked. We got to give you your flowers, right? We got to give you your flowers. And see, I mean, look, the people also, we had a great night last night. And so the next game night will be on Wednesday. Okay, let's do some photography. We are going to I'm going to take you to South Africa, the South region of Africa. How about that? And we're going to look at some of those photos. Okay, here we go. Wildlife. It's all about the wildlife, y'all. It's wildlife. And then we'll do a couple others. Okay, animals. Here we are. So last night I was sharing some photos, but I'm not going to repeat the ones we did last night, because you can see that in the repeat from last night's game night. So what I also do on game nights is that in the first half hour, it's like it's kind of a like wonky, like waiting for people to come in. So I've decided that I have thousands and thousands and thousands of photos that I could do storytelling, show and tell. So now I will do show and tell on game night. So it's like show and tell, but that's like it opens it up. So, and I am really going to dive into the photography community. In the next season of Touch Base Daily, there are going to be a lot of interviews, because there's no way I can contain it's 52 weeks in the month. And I do like the water cooler days that we have on Wednesdays. So we will have interviews on different days of photographers. So it won't be just 2 Wednesdays. It will be to many other days. Okay, so we're going to be doing interviews for photographers. Bryson says, he says, I will be up New York City on Labor Day weekend, August 27th, September 2nd. Nice. And look, I told you last time, if you're in New York City, reach out to me. We can get together. Yes. Kimmy Kim says, Chris art is so good. Okay, let's do some photography. Let's do some photography. Let's talk some photography, y'all. Okay. And if you have any, also, I want to do something different at the end of when we do our Motivation Monday. I do have, and I do have lots of motivational quotes to share with you, but I want you to think about, while you're looking at this photography, I want you to think about something to motivate this community. So I know some of you are working, so you can't type. So you can't do it as easily. But for those that have a free hand to the keyboard, you can, hold on a second, scammers. That was a scam. You can also give word of motivation today. I wanted to turn it around to you guys, to the community. So while we're going through the photography, I want you to think of a way or words or a quote that you can put into the comment box that is going to motivate our community. Okay? Is that a hard task? No, it isn't. It is not a hard task. So here we are. So you can see I have lots of photos on animals. This is my wildlife section. And I've been blessed to be able to photograph some really cool animals. So we'll start with Bo Derek. This is my Bo Derek elephant. I was out in, we had just came back from safari, and these 2 elephants they looked like they were siblings. They were playing in the water, the water hole. And they were going back and forth and dunking each other and wrestling in the water. And then there was this one moment where this elephant went down into the water And I had this feeling that it was going to come out of the water like Bo Derek. I don't know why I felt that way. I don't know why it was something that the way the elephant dove into the water, but the way it dunked and came up, it was a Bo Derek moment. It was a Bo Derek moment. And he took his trunk, and the trunk just went up and swirled out, just like, the scene in Splash. I think the movie's called Splash, when Bo Derek comes out and the hair goes back. And I was like, this is a Bo Derek moment. So y'all know the name of this photo. This photo, when it was in a gallery exhibition, was called Bo Derek. Bo Derek. And so I took this in South Africa again, coming back, I should say, not home, but coming back from a safari morning. We were out in the bush. For those that don't know, when you go out into the wilderness in Australia, or when you go out into the wilderness in Africa, it's called going out into the bush. That's the terminology that they use, the rangers and all the folks. You're going to the bush this morning. Yes, we're going to the bush this morning. And so it's called the bush. And so this was the Bo Derek moment. Then I had another moment. One thing about wildlife photography and getting up and being on safari for a week or two, just kind of like just out there and immersed in the wildlife, and you're in their world. And people are like, Ron, how close are you? Pretty close. We are pretty close, meaning this leopard, if he decided to hop on to the Range Rover, he could do it with no problem. And you've seen some photos of leopards and cheetahs going rogue. I don't say rogue, but they hop onto the top of the Range Rover and they smell us. I mean, well, not us. I just happened to. They smell the humans, and then they kind of like assess that you are not food, and then they just pop off. Big cats do not eat humans. They don't like humans to eat. That's not what they do. It's like, oh my God, they're gonna try to. No, big cats do not like to eat human. So if you just stay calm and just do nothing and don't look it in the eyes, you never look the animal in the eye. You just bow your head and just let them smell and do what they need to do. And then they leave. They're not interested in you. You are not their prey. They are not hunting humans. No animals are hunting humans unless you do something that is triggering for them. But human beings are not a food source. And this, I think this is a kudu. I mentioned this last night, kudu, I think it is. And then I mentioned this also. This is, we were just kind of like just driving through the bush, and we came across these. It was like 25 elephants just out in the open, just kind of like grazing the grass. And I mentioned this last night, that when you see a group, Daisy says, are you sure about the eating part? They do not eat humans. They don't. I guess if they're starving, like really hungry, they might, but they don't necessarily are looking for humans. But this photo was taken in South Africa as well, in the northern region. And again, they were grazing. And I was mentioning that most people, they say, oh, is it a herd, or is it, a pack? Most of the time, some people do use the word herd when they see elephants, but the correct lingo is parade. When you see a group of elephants, it's a parade of elephants. A parade of elephants. So there you go. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're doing photography. Now, this little guy, this is a young leopard. And what happened on this particular day? Well, how I got this leopard in a tree is quite fascinating because this leopard was having a trying to kill or trying to get a kill of the impalas that were in the area. And however, it had a competition. It had competition, y'all. This in that morning, it had a competition of a spotted, beautiful hyena. You know the hyenas, how they, like you see in the Lion King, how they look like they're always they sound like they're always laughing. They do sound like they're laughing, believe it or not. If you come across the hyenas, and usually they're in packs, but this was one by itself. We were shocked. So we knew that the other hyenas must have not been so far away. But this hyena chased this leopard up the tree, which was shocking because usually the leopards are usually in control. But because this was a young leopard, I don't think he could handle the hyenas. For all those that don't know, hyenas have the strongest jaws in the world. They have, I forgot what their torque is. They have a certain number of torque. When they bite, you cannot. Anything that comes close to it in the dog kingdom was pit bulls. Pit bulls have a hard clamp when they bite and they hold on to their prey, right? Well, the hyenas they have the strongest torque in the way they attack or the way they grab and hold with their mouth. If it's in their mouth, it's not coming out. As a matter of fact, you can see, and a lot of animals are like that, but the hyenas have an amazing torque, and they can take that animal and drag it wherever they want. Yeah. Daisy says she needs an enclosed Jeep. Nah. First of all, when I was on safari, and when I first started in safari, when I first was like going, they would pick me up in the morning. Mr. Foster, it's time to go. And I was like, okay. And then next thing I said, where's the Jeep? And they were like, we do not call these Jeeps. They're called Range Rovers. And Range Rover does not want you to call their vehicles Jeeps. So, and because it was a British place, a British safari place I was staying, they said, nope, no Jeeps. You must say, they didn't tell you must, but they were like, Ron, Mr. Foster, these are Range Rovers. These are Range Rovers. And they made sure to correct me the first time I did it. The first day on safari, I said, where's the Jeep? And they said, no Jeeps around here. It's a Range Rover. So there you have it. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying here. They be snatching arms at 0 at the zoo. You guys are crazy. Are you about the editing part? Are you about the edit? I always edit my photos, especially wildlife. I try to edit a lot. I will need everything enclosed in the Jeep. Yeah, I guess some places you can call it a Jeep, but most places it is a Range Rover. Okay, next one. So this is the story behind that one. Look at my time here. Okay, good. Okay. There's some impalas right there. They're usually everywhere. And the biggest joke about the impalas are on their back of their butts is a M. When you look at their tail and then the line that goes up, it's like it's like the golden arches of McDonald's. So the biggest joke when you go on safari is that folks say that the animals are going to McDonald's this morning. And that's when you'll see the leopards, you'll see the lions, you'll see the hyenas, you'll see the wild dogs, and they're all out hunting these little guys called impalas. And the impalas again, are the McDonald's of the bush. So folks go out and go after them. They go after the bush. They go after that for food. Now they're going. Now now they are the food that people are that the lions are looking for. Daisy says these rovers better be animal proof. Nope, they're not. They're open roof, like I said, and because one is you're a photographer, so we who are in the photography world, we like to have, you got to have the open, you know. Now, once in a while, if it's even when it's raining, we still have them open. So yeah, they're just open to the elements. And can you make the pics bigger? Oh, let me see. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see. There we go. That's as big as I'm gonna get it. Oh, I can go. I can zoom in. I can zoom in. I can zoom in. Oops, it's like a. But once I, yeah, there we go. We can zoom in. There you go. So you can see a little bit there. Okay, that's a little better. Okay. Let me see if I can. There we go. There we go. Da, da, da. Okay, but now I have to do there. Okay, see. And more impellers. And this is one nursing. The mama is nursing. Same here. Now this was, I shot this. This was shot in Botswana. Believe it or not, this was in Botswana. I shot these. And this was in Botswana, the beautiful giraffes. This is one of my favorites. I mean, it's like the giraffe was just posing for me. It was like, okay, you have a camera and I have the body. And the giraffe just really, let me just see if I can zoom in on it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, come on. Oops. Okay. It doesn't let me do it that way. Okay, there we go. It won't let, there we go. That's much better. You can see it better. Okay, there we go. There we go. Isn't she regal? Is it? I don't know if she's a he or a she, but I think it's a she. I always thought of as a she. I always say she. It's just a thing. Thanks. I thought the joke was she got a Chevy Impala. Just kidding. Yes, Daisy, you're on fire today. Okay. Daisy is on fire. And then this was a pack of a herd of zebras. This was also in Botswana. And this was, do believe this is just on the way. We were just driving. This was just driving along the highway, the roadway. And we were on our way from one town to the next town. And right there's one thing. This was amazing to me in Botswana. There are animals everywhere. Elephants crossing the road, rhinos crossing the road, and we saw this big pack of zebras. I had never seen so many zebras in my life. And I mentioned last night, we were in our car, we were in our Jeep, like a SUV. And I said, stop the car, because I had to get the shot. And this is a boar, the boar. I want you to notice something about this boar. This boar makes me laugh every time I look at this picture. Doesn't this boar look like it's like a cartoon? Like it's got some sophistication. You see the way its feet are, and it's just, the animal world is just so fascinating to me. So much fun to see it. But hey, I see you, Rashawn. Rashawn is in the building. Dr. Tachi's in the building. But I mean, look at the tiptoeing, kind of like with the elegant movement. She was just tipping. And I do believe, yep, this is a girl. I can tell from right here. She's a girl. And then this elephant was, while we were on the road, was just hanging out behind the tree. Again, just driving along the routes in Botswana, and you will see animals everywhere. I was mentioning last night that like we have deer crossings signs all over, the Northeast here. Some places you have moose crossings. here in South Africa or in Botswana, you will see, but mainly in Botswana, um, elephant crossing, hippo crossings. Yeah, mainly elephant crossings because they're everywhere. This is my time hanging out with a cheetah. This is more elephants in Botswana. Botswana has the largest population of exactly right, Janet. Right there, doesn't she look like she have high heels on? Yes, yes, Janet. This was also another leopard. Let me see if I can get that up there. I just can't scroll when I bring it too loud. There we go. We can try to get in there. But this was a photo of a leopard in another tree. We were happened to be out in the bush, and there she was, just almost like above us. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's right there!" And we got really close, and she just sat there in the tree. She saw us coming in. She was getting ready for her nap, and I took the picture. I mean, look at that! Look at that! And then we got one more. One there she is in color. There she is in color. Look at her. Isn't she a glamour? Leopards blend in too well. They do. You can't see them. A lot of times you can't see them. Look at her. Look at her. Isn't she adorable? Adorable. And then you saw that one already. And more cheetahs. Oh, this is my little friend. Now this little guy, let me just see if I can bring, there we go. Y'all know what this is, right? This is a gecko. Look at the little gecko. You ever seen Geico? Remember the Geico commercial? Look at the little gecko. Look at this little guy. And this little gecko, I don't know if it's a he, because I don't know if the geckos have a sex. I don't know if they're male or female. But, and then I'll leave it with this. And guys, I want your Motivation Monday quote. So let's get ready for your motivation quotes. We were walking the beaches in Namibia and along the shoreline, and my tour guide for some reason he knew where they were. He can tell by the way the sand that was appeared, and he reached down into the sand and pulled out the gecko. And I was like, look at this little fella. Look at the little gecko. I mean, I can't bring down his Etsy. I wish I could just bring down there. Oh, there we go. That's how you do it. Look at the little gecko. Look at the little gecko. Look at him. Man, when I am in these places, I am a big kid. I will never lose my childhood feeling of living life. It is so important that we always remain as children. Children are curious about the world. And it also plays right into my photography because I am curious about the world. And so there you have it. We'll leave it. We'll leave it on Mr. Gecko. Did y'all enjoy those photos? Did you enjoy the photos? Let me know. Okay, so what's your motivation for us today? I want you to motivate us. If you're in your living room, if you're at your desk, if you can get to a keyboard, or you can voice text it into your keyboard. So some of you don't even have to be able to type. All you gotta do is speak into your computer and it will just automatically type it for you. Hannah says she enjoyed this. Okay, let me know, because this is your community. And I was like, well, I got all these photos. Why not share them? Why not tell stories behind them? Yes. Janet's motivation. She got the first one out. Be open to your environment. I like that one. I like that one. Be open to your environment. especially in the changing world that we're in today. You just go from neighborhood to neighborhood, your environment will change. You go from people to people, your environment will change. You go from home to home, and your environments will change. Every place you go has an environment. Thank you, Janet. That was a good one. Any other words of encouragement? Any other words of encouragement on this Motivation Monday? This is your community, Motivation Monday. Oh, Daisy has one. Motivation. The things that you cannot control, let go. That's a good one. That's another good one. The things that you cannot control, let go. You cannot always control. You cannot control the uncontrollables. All you can do is control the controllables. Let it go if you can't control it. Like for instance, with the orange man and some things we just cannot control. Let it go. Let it go. Nice one. We got two of them in here. We got two in the building. We got two words of encouragement. Jay-Z. Janet says she loves that. Any more? Any more? You got 5 minutes. Someone give me one more. One more. I just want one more. And then we're going to close out. Okay? While you're thinking about your words of encouragement for one another, make sure you join our email list by going to ronlewisphotos.com. You will find, again, that's my new website. So it's all checked, it's all fixed up and everything for you to go to. But go there and join our email list. Make sure you do that. Also, I am an event photographer. And so if you are looking for an event photographer for your commercial use, as in your corporation, your private use for a private party, you need photography to share and to preserve the memories of that event, give me a call. Slide into my DMs if people don't use that anymore. Just text me. No more using sliding to my DMs. Just text me. Since we had such a fiasco with that on Friday. And also, thank you to the Patreon members. If you are not a Patreon member and you can become one, just go to patreon.com and put in Ron Lewis Photos. And that is who supports what we do here. The Patreon members pay for this StreamYard that I'm using to be here. This Patreon community pays for the Canva to create the graphics. The Patreon folks help pay for Microsoft to build the stuff that I need to build when I'm on here. So guys, it takes money to be in this community, to be here alive with you guys every day, and for all of your social media contributors and influencers, and it all takes time and money. So support. And I think that is it. I think we got that in the square. We squared that off. So any more words of encouragement while that happened, while I was giving you those? Okay, I see one. Dr. Tachi says, this is from your photography. Your perspective can change your outlook. Your perspective can change your outlook. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Yes. And Kimmy says, if you need something, don't be afraid to ask. Never know if you don't ask. It's so true. You have not because you ask not. So get to asking, y'all. Get to asking. Bryson says, here's another one. Sometimes you gotta move on. That's true. You guys are motivating. This is how we do it. We motivate each other. Cass says, yesterday is but today's memory, and tomorrow is today's dream. Wow. Kyle Gibran came across this one. Nice one. Yesterday is but today's memory, and tomorrow is today's dream. Oh, how I love that. Ooh, Rashawn says, the love you give will always return to you. Nice one. Yes. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I have for you. Tomorrow's Tip Tuesday. Tomorrow we're talking about reflections and mirrors, how to use mirrors and reflections in your photography. So that is tomorrow and on Tip Tuesday tomorrow. So we'll gather again as we usually do at 11 o'clock. So guys, thank you. Have a great day. Be motivated. Motivate one another. Motivate the people in your life. And be motivated. Talk to you later. Bye. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.